do a little morning thought exercise. I'd like to imagine what a world would look like if, when someone you know, doesn't even have to be someone you know very well, but someone you know comes to you and says, I've been really hurt by this other person or this organization, and I'm in a lot of pain. What would it look like if, instead of defending that person or that organization, or even apologizing for them, what would it look like if we had empathy for the person who was hurt? What would it look like if we had curiosity and asked them to explain a little bit more of what happened and why they're feeling the way they feel, if they're open to sharing? In the Book of Mormon, from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the church I was born and raised into, there is a scripture that says that when people follow Christ, they take on this covenant to mourn with those who mourn and comfort those that stand in need of comfort. However, I am finding a lot of people from this religious organization and from a certain political party that do quite the opposite. That when someone says, I've been hurt by this person or this organization, their knee-jerk reaction is to say, well, it's not their fault, or they didn't mean that, or you're overreacting. It's the opposite of mourning with someone who actually is mourning. The election is just a week away, and so of course I'm going to bring politics into this for a moment. But I'd like for you to think about what it's like when someone says that a certain political party or candidate has hurt a person. They say, I am genuinely deeply hurt by this, or I am actually quite afraid of what might happen if this person or this party is elected. What if, instead of this knee-jerk response and saying, you're wrong, this person or organization that really doesn't need my protection, I'm going to protect them anyway. What if, instead of saying that, we said, tell me more. What do you mean by that? How can I help? I was raised to believe that Jesus Christ was the great mediator, that he was a perfect example of both justice and mercy. And I think that the most Christ-like thing we could do is to show love and empathy for people who are in pain and hold their abusers or the people who have hurt them accountable. I think that is absolutely the most Christ-like thing we could do. I would like to be perfectly clear. If Donald Trump or Kamala Harris has hurt you or your family or a certain demographic to which you belong, I would like to see that candidate held accountable. I will not make excuses for either, because it's not my responsibility. I would like to say the same for a religious organization. If your religious organization has hurt you or your family or a certain demographic to which you belong, that organization should be held accountable. Our job should be to protect and care for and succor the people who have been injured and are hurting, not $1 billion corporations and millionaires that don't need our protection.